Hi everyone, Tales from the DashCam back again. Coming to you from Siesta Key, Florida, just south of Sarasota. Down here on vacation this week. It's Memorial Day weekend, and I was on YouTube over the weekend watching Adventure Deck's channel, and he's been called out by Trail Recon to give a story about his history and his Jeep. I commented about that turning into something of a chain letter type thing, and he immediately called me out. So in the next couple of weeks I'll be coming through with a video about my life story and my history with Jeeps and things like that, and how I got to where I'm at today with the Craveman. So stay tuned. It'll probably come post Bantam Heritage Jeep Festival, as I'll be up for that, and I want to do an installment from there also. So thanks for watching and stay tuned.
Hi, Tales of the Dashcam here again with Project Craveman. I've been called out by Adventure Decks to tell my Jeep story. So get in, sit down, shut up, and hang on, because here we go. Okay, my journey with cars started about 1987. I was already married a few years. My son was just born, and then my first four-wheel drive was an 87 Dodge Dakota pickup truck, which it didn't take long for me to trick it out, put a nice cap on it, wheels, tires. So as you'll see, I'll be jumping through some old pictures and slides of various vehicles I've had. So I ran the Dakota for a few years, and it wound up blowing up the lower internals on it, and I had to make a quick trade in December with 12 inches of snow on the ground to a 94 Jeep Cherokee. It was a two-door Sport, which became the family workhorse for quite a few years. I eventually, once I got the payments made on it, I went to a 2-inch Big Dick suspension lift and American Racing Outlaw tires and wheels. So that was a pretty nice vehicle, and I started doing some camping with the kids. So you put my two kids in the back, a 100-pound golden retriever, and a 16-foot hybrid travel trailer on it, and it started to wear the truck down pretty quickly. So I actually needed some horsepower, and I got a really good trade on that thing. It's amazing the resales on some of those things. 134,000 miles, I got like $7 grand on it. And I went to a Dodge Durango for a while, which I truly regretted because it was nothing but trouble, and it was a monster gas hog. But anyway, forward on to about 2005, I purchased a Jeep Liberty. It was the Rocky Mountain edition, black. And my daughter just started marching band in high school, and I racked up like 37,000 miles in about a year and a half, or less than that, doing all the band traveling and things like that. So I actually walked into the dealership to have a repair done, and they cut me a deal on a 2007 Liberty with 0% interest. So I jumped on that fairly quickly, and I ran that vehicle to the point of this Wrangler you see behind me. That vehicle again was another bandwagon run around, and I actually went to an automatic. I'm not a fan of automatic transmissions, and I kept it because my daughter was just learning to drive, and the stick wasn't that conducive for that, and she actually wound up taking it to college for a while to, believe it or not, keep the miles off of it. But I got 175,000 miles on it, and used it as a trade along with my wife's Crossfire. We had a Crossfire Roadster for a while, and we did a double trade on it. Now, the trade was her idea on the Crossfire to go into the Wrangler. So I told her once we got into the Wrangler, it was all in. So the Wrangler's gone through quite a bit of mods and upgrades. Nothing ridiculous, because it's a daily driver. I haven't hit the 4-year mark, and I've got 92,000 miles on it. I do a fairly long commute back and forth to work. But I have videos out there of the walk-arounds and stuff like that. If you haven't looked at them, check them out. There's one called Dang Deer. It's worth watching. It'll give you a lesson about hitting a deer. That was my first deer I hit since my 40-plus years of driving a vehicle. So it was pretty scary experience for me, because it never happened to me before. But the one lesson you learn on hitting a deer is don't swerve. People die from that. And take the deer head on. I wish he'd, instead of running into my tire, run into my iron bumper. I probably wouldn't have had no damage. But I wound up with $3,400 worth of damage on that experience. So this is my Jeep story. I'm also instructed to call out some other people, so I've got 3 in mind. The first one is Omega Green. You're being called out. This guy's up around Buffalo area, New York. He likes to do budget stuff to his Jeep, and it's a very different type of video. The second one's from, I believe, the Tennessee area, is Jeep TV. You've been called out. And the last one is going to be from Toronto, Canada. He does a ton of videos, if you've seen him, and I have yet to find a video where he's been called out. But Blacked Out Jeep Wrangler, I'm calling you out right now. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching.